Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite channel, Yoleno TV. This is the third day of the Supreme Court battle, and I've been following this proceedings since around 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. in the morning, until the time where the Supreme Court judges started giving questions to the lawyers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can give credit to one Mahat, the lawyer who almost shut down everything that Azimio presented yesterday. His presentation was worth a credit, but as if that was not enough, the Supreme Court, as usual, just like what they did yesterday to the Azimio's submission, posed numerous questions which, to me, unless these lawyers answer these questions satisfactorily to the bench, all is not going to be well. So I've listed a couple of concerns that the judges raised during the court process. But ladies and gentlemen, before I get into the analysis of these concerns, please, if you're a first-time viewer, take a moment and subscribe. You can give us a thumbs up, you can hit the notification bell, so that anytime we upload a video such as this one, you'll always become the first person to get notified. Now, on to those concerns, and this is what I noted. There was a concern about Chebukati's role, because the question posed to the advocates was that, give us Chebukati's role and why is it so powerful, and why is the ICT CEO Marjan so powerful, and why is it that his powerful role only ends after announcement of presidential election. The defense was also put to task to tell the court the roles and functions of the commissioners, since according to the bench, the commissioner's sole role is to oversight all the elections and tallying. So, ladies and gentlemen, that first concern is very crucial to the determination of the petition that was filed by the first and the second petitioner, who is Raila Amolo Odinga and Martha Karua, consecutively or respectively. So, what the judges are merely trying to request is like, telling these Kenya Kwanza lawyers that, or rather no, telling Ruto and the IEBC lawyers to fix themselves, because it's like, apparently, it's like they do not understand the sole role of Chebukati and the sole role of the four commissioners and why the four commissioners are there. I am not going to delve into that analysis further because we are not allowed to do that. So it's up to the courts to determine. That is after tomorrow's response, because I understand they have been given up to tomorrow morning to respond to those concerns. Now, on to our second concern. The defense was also put to task to tell the court the roles and functions of the commissioners, since according to the bench, the commissioner's role is oversight. They play an oversight role, and that was the question was posted by Smoky Wanjala, one of the judges for the Supreme Court, because according to the bench, they noted that some commissioners were allocated other roles or cause, and the feeling from Azimio as submitted yesterday was that the unlawful assignment of the roles was meant to divert the attention of those four commissioners from the vote tallying process. Because if you are given the role of, for instance, like the vice chair of IEBC is given the role to make sure that the affairs of all the other staffs are taken into consideration, then that would mean you would want to look at, are my commissioners, do they have airtime? Is there enough food for them to, for their meals? Is there enough transport? So Chebukati was merely assigning these roles to the vice chair so that the vice chair can be busy with those cause and have little time for the vote tallying process. I think that was one of the bone of contention and led to that dissenting action. Mahat, one of the lawyers representing IEBC, was asked to shed light on the Venezuelan and whether the smartmatic system was intruded. Remember, in the submissions yesterday, there were allegations of intrusion, and even the DCI has given a report that is supporting the same. So Mahat, one of the lawyers for IBC, never touched on that part of intrusion. So he was asked to shed light on that aspect, and in the same regard, he was asked what was the Venezuelans maintaining before the election. What were they maintaining? In a nutshell, the expectations were maybe this maintenance would have come once the system have started being used later on, at a later date. Why were they maintaining even when the system was not in use? That was a concern by the judges. This was a general question, but then this is how the judges posted it. Why did the percentage turnout decrease rather than increase? Because it was expected that it would increase because other voters had not casted their votes at the time Chebukati released the first percentage turnout. In a nutshell, what this means is that there was a time Chebukati announced around 60% voter turnout. And by the time he was announcing, there were other voters who had not voted in particular areas. And Chebukati mentioned that the percentages would change. And the expectation is that these percentages would increase, because in a nutshell, if 10 people had voted at the time, I was saying 2% had voted, and then the number changes to 11 people. 11 people have now voted. The expectation in a nutshell is that that percentage is likely to increase as opposed to decrease. So what the judges noted was that the percentage which Chebukati released indicated that the percentage had decreased as opposed to increasing. Of course, the court did not pose this as a question, but addressed the lawyers, the IEBC and the Ruto regarding Gachagua lawyers, that they merely try to say that they cannot place or apportion the blame of the chaos that transpired on the Bomas of Kenya, because they saw the videos, they saw everything that transpired, and from what the judges were trying to tell these lawyers, that this could have come from any of the two camps. That means the Kenya Kwanza camp or the Azimio One Kenya Alliance camp. So for that reason, they are hesitant to apportion the blames on Raila Amolo Odinga, because there is no evidence that is leading to that blame. So that was not a question, but it was just making them get aware that if they are to make any determination on that, then this can even affect the Kenya Kwanza wing, because chairs were thrown, and according to what we saw, the chairs could have come from the Kenya Kwanza wing. So if the determination is to be made, because from the submissions that the IEBC lawyers made today, it was alleged that Chebukati was hurt, and that there are even medical reports suggesting that Gulie, Mulu, and Chebukati were seriously hurt, even Marjan. So that's why the judges are trying to tell these Kenya Kwanza lawyers that you take it slow on this matter, because if you are to make a determination, and this can even affect your people. So on to our fifth concern, and this was from the Deputy CJ, or the Deputy President of Supreme Court, Justice Philomena Mwilu. And Philomena Mwilu kept reminding the respondents of today's session that the numbers are not the important things in this electioneering period. The most important thing is the process. In 2017, they said the election is a process. The process that starts from procurement to the time when the election results are announced, the presidential results are announced. So it is a process. It is not all about numbers, ladies and gentlemen. That is what Justice Mwilu said, that the fact that the four commissioners went on their separate ways, and at the time when they were giving out, they are preparing to produce their press release, is the same time that Chebukati saw it, deemed it necessary to now go and release the result. That was a tactical approach to divert the attention of Kenyans from the results that were going to be released by the 4 dissenting commissioners, so that Chebukati could grab this attention to his wing. So what Justice Mwili is trying to say that this meant a lot, and the mere fact that they went separate ways and they are the majority is not something that Chebukati should have just ignored. And the right thing that Chebukati could have done was to give it another day, because actually the law had given Chebukati until Tuesday, and that he could still reach out to these 4 commissioners, because their role, the major role of the 4 commissioners is oversight. Oversight means verifying the source of the votes which Chebukati announced, to ascertain the authenticity, so that they can be at par with the source of this vote, that Chebukati had time to reach out to them to come to a consensus about what needs to be done before giving the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a lawyer, but it's my duty to give you information and put the record straight that the struggle is still on. Don't give up if you are an Azimio Kenya, One Kenya Alliance voter. Don't also give up if you are a Kenya Kwanza voter, because the ball is still on the court of the Kenya Kwanza lawyers. Lot needs to be done, and today was basically a day for giving out responses. And from what I saw, it was basically like, you know, to the judge. The judges were so keen trying to understand the responses from the lawyers for IEBC and Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. So they gave them time. There was little interruption. They were given the floor to utilize effectively. I remember one of the advocate Oraro, was standing up for Kiharu, said that the reason why the security organ decided to reach out to IEBC's chairman was not to make them, you know, to influence the decision of who is supposed to be announced as the presidential winner. It was basically a security concern, because it came at a time when now the streaming of these results had stopped. So that is the concern. The 27 constituencies streaming had stopped. So why have you stopped? Because that is the concern of the Kiharu, I think, because he thought that by stopping this, it would make other regions start, you know, protesting. Why are you stopping this announcement of the results? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to delve deep into this analysis of these concerns, because it was posed as a mere questions, and the judges did not want the lawyers to answer them. Then they were given until morning to come, and I think initially it was 15 minutes allocated, but after Gidu Migai decided to intervene, they were given additional 15 minutes. That makes it 30 minutes to answer to those questions. So ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's session is basically a rejoinder. I still promise to give you more updates on that, and I don't want to discuss more on it. And please, if you're a first-time viewer, subscribe to our channel, support our channel. And once again, I'd like to say thank you so much for being with us. You've been supporting our channel by subscribing, by viewing. You give us watch time hours, you give us views, and we are so grateful to that. Once again, I'd like to say stay safe and stay blessed.